Well, good morning, folks. It's the following day here. We're on to, I guess, day 2 of shop time for working on this loader. So the first thing we're working on this morning here, Dad's putting some new grease zerks in on the front axle that were bad, and I'm working on getting this front jaw that the loader's going to sit in. So I torched these out last night. Probably finished out that last video showing that. And now this morning, first thing what I'm doing here after morning chores is we are making our jaw. So what we have is a piece of a heavy angle here and a piece of half flat bar, and we're basically recreating this jaw that's over here on the ground. So this was the original mount, as well as that one piece there. There's another one of those, but that's the original mount for the 3400 series loader to fit on like an 06 through 66 series tractor. So we are working on making our own custom mount here to fit on the front of this 884. We've made our side plates already. Some of that needs some tack welding. This will all have to come off, be finish welded and painted and all that, but we're in the process of kind of assembly here. So now I'm gonna work on burning this completely in. Had to get her up here on the workbench so I can get it nice and squared and true. So I'm gonna fire up the welder and make some sparks and turn a hot glue gun on and make this one piece again. So we're gonna get after it here. We've got as much of this fabricated as we can until we take this thing back and use the loader to kind of get our finalized position for our brackets here in the rear. So we're going to drive this tractor back there, use the hydraulics to get the loader in position and kind of drive into it, and that'll then in turn tell me where I need to weld them brackets that are right there. So I'll do a little bit of finagling here and get things figured out. What's it doing?
You can damn near see what it's doing.
I think we should let her down some.
A little bit.
Yeah. So if we hook it up, I might be able to just use the hydraulics.
The bucket only might do it. You think?
If you tip the bucket down, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that thing looks neat on there, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
I think it's going to look pretty sharp.
It is. I think we'll hook them both because I think we're going to have to use both.
Okay.
To get it where we want it.
Well, at least we did our front end right.
Yeah, I was nervous for a minute. I was like, hell, it ain't even going in. And then I didn't have it cranked right. Now, them other hoses are going to be the problem.
Why, they're too short?
I'm going to have to do something different with them. I might have to go over the tire.
Fingers clear. it that low?
You're gonna have to see it to understand why.
I know what you're saying for it to pass under,
Pole passes under.
but we might not be able to do this the same. We might have to make this like the Dunham on the other one, where the pipe's welded to the mount. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still not down where it should be as far as being plumb, but you can look.
Well, they're not. If you ever look at these tractors, the loaders, that leans forward
Oh, it does?
on most of them.
Okay.
I'm wondering if we should do that.
It has to go a little bit lower.
Well, then, are your articulation for your axle going to be an issue?
I don't think so.
As long as you're higher than the plate, you're fine, but...
It's above the cutout. Hello?
I'm going to do a little conversing here and figure this out. Well, I had a bit of a change of plans here. We originally were going to use that pipe that came with the mounts that are supposed to be for the 06 through 66 series tractors. And unfortunately, we made some plates here that were supposed to weld underneath on the side, and that pipe was supposed to cross underneath the tractor from side to side, and that loader was supposed to sit back on it. That isn't quite going to work out how we originally planned, and so for the sake of not having to make a mess of my nicely made mount I have here so far, where we'd have to add on to lower this even more, at which point in time I would have a concern whether the articulate point of my axle would end up running into the loader frame, not the mount, but the frame of the loader. So instead, we have decided to make this very similar to the Dunham loader mount that's on our 484. And so how that mount works is they have a pipe welded on back here where this bolts onto the tractor, and they have the jaw very similar to this. Just this is a lot heavier frame. This is made out of 3/4 plate. That stuff on that 484, I don't even think it's 3/8. So this is twice the thickness, and also it doesn't have all this added steel here. It's a lot weaker. But so instead, we're going to make this very similar to the Dunham loader mount, just a lot more heavy duty to fit this loader. So unfortunately, my progress for the day has ended on this because I need to get steel, because I don't have any pipe that fits here, and I don't want to chop up that pipe because that pipe is made for the mount that originally went with this loader. So if we decide to use this loader for another size tractor, we can. And then the other thing being, that is 3.5 inch outer diameter pipe. I don't know how that works with this loader, because that loader needs like 3 3/4 to 4 inch size OD pipe in order for this thing to fit tightly. So I'm not going to use that stuff. I'm just going to get a hold of JD down there at Morrison Custom Welding in the morning and see if I can get some steel. So unfortunately, the progress of the loader is kind of ended for the day. I went ahead and burned this in, so at least this is done. Now I got a bunch more welding to do back in here. Got to grind those out and re-weld down in there. That was just a root pass on those. Pull this loader frame off and weld all this stuff on the inside where you can't get to right now. So I've got a lot more welding to do, but I can't get to any of that until I get my rear section in place and weld it up so I know the loader fits and we know everything's how we want it. At which point in time, this all gets blown back apart and welded again from the inside, and then it's paint. But that's a little bit of ways from here, I suppose. But I guess I'm going to call today. Oh well. Some days you win, some days you lose. I guess I didn't lose. I just didn't get as far as I would have liked to. But yeah, I think them welds turned out okay. I don't know. I'm not a certified welder, but I think I do okay. But yeah, gonna head home, spend some time with the wife and kiddos, and hopefully be back on this tomorrow. So we will see you in the morning. I got this welded in a little bit. We're not going to burn this all the way in until I take this out and test fit the loader on here. I mean, to be honest, that's enough weld surface just to set the loader on here and ensure that it is going to line up properly. Took a bunch of measuring and stuff to figure this all out, exactly where it needed to be, but this is built very similar to the Dunham style bracket for the 484. You got a pipe stubbed on here with some triangular bracing, and it's not near as heavy as this thing, but I think it should work. We're going to take it out and see if we can make the loader fit on here good, and if we can accomplish that, we will bring her back in the shop, and then I've got a lot of welding to do. A lot. Yeah, but is it back in?
Not quite. Now you are. This side's perfect.
Okay.
Don't get any better than that. It's a perfect fit. That's an absolutely perfect fit.
Yeah, I slipped back. I don't want to get off and check it.
You'll like it. It don't get any better than that.
Yeah, that's...
And then all you gotta do is draw them. Draw them up.
Yeah, I might need some type of rubber belting in there to...
We can put, yeah, like you said, put rubber belting in the bottom and then draw it.
That'd keep the squeaking and squawking down too.
That other one squeaks a little.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
When I got off, the tractor slid back a little bit, so it's not fully engaged yet, but I think it'll...
That's gonna work.
I think it'll work.
That's gonna work. It's centered. It's centered nice on there.
Not bad for farmer fabricated and engineered. I think we did okay. So we'll hop this thing off of here and go do a bunch of welding. Well guys, I think that's gonna be a wrap for me for the day. Sun's headed down. Got most of this welded out. Got a few more pieces to make. Gonna get some caps made for the ends of those pipes. Gonna put a receiver tube here in the middle for backing wagons in with this. Well, pushing wagons in with this, I should say. So I've got a lot more welding to do. Then clean up and paint, which is gonna be a bit of a task because it's cold out. So probably gonna palletize this, roll it out, shoot it with the paint gun, roll it back in here where it's warm to cure. So I think I'm gonna head home for the day, call it a day. I don't know exactly where this video's ended up. Might be kind of chopped up all over the place because get busy fabricating and you just don't turn this thing on. You just want to knock her out. So I'm gonna head home, grill some steaks because that sounds good, and then I'm gonna probably work on editing this video because it's been a bit since I had a video put up. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. There's some chickens I think want a paint job. What do you think? You think chickens will look good black? I guess we have a couple black ones, so maybe they do. Where can I put you that you are downwind, or I guess I should say upwind, not downwind. All right, see what we can make happen here.